The rest of my application was kind of mixed, fair to middling, but the SAT score indicated that, okay, he is capable of doing
the SAT
academic work.
score is a lifeline
Mhm.
to kids who went through shit like you did.
Yeah.
I find it just enrages me that because of critical race theory, essentially, they're getting rid of it. They're destroying opportunities for lots of disadvantaged people because of their own, let's call it luxury beliefs, which is the title of the chapter, which is the thing that's kind of gotten you a lot of edgy response and gives the book a little political edge in a way, social political edge, because you looked around you at Yale and you met these people who were unbelievably privileged in so many ways. And they just seemed to reflect a worldview that was utterly, first of all, inexplicable to you. Tell me the first thing you came across, you were like, what?
I mean, there were the first time, well, really the first introduction I had to campus culture, the way that people see it now. I got out of the Air Force. This was August 2015, started classes in September, and then in October, what became known as the Halloween costume controversy at Yale blew up. And that was kind of the birth of when wokeness spilled out of the universities. This stuff had been going on. I know Jonathan Haidt and Greg Lukianoff and others have sort of documented this new wave of political correctness to 2011, 2012. But by 2015, suddenly the national media started to pay attention to, oh, something's happening on campuses. What's happening? And I saw hundreds of students march around demanding that Nicholas and Erica Christakis be fired, and along with a whole other...
Because Erica Christakis had put out an email saying for Halloween, let's not be too uptight about Halloween costumes. There are so many rules now. Why don't you just have a bit of fun and let's be a little forgiving of each other? Mm-hmm. I would think that kind of message from an authority figure to college students would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thing to hear. Have fun. Don't get too uptight about this. But not just not getting that, but being absolutely enraged that someone would say that.
Yeah, well, I was witnessing this and I was just completely mystified. I read the email that Erica Christakis
I did too.
And I thought, what? This looks perfectly innocuous to me. This looks fine. And in response, the students called her racist. They said it was emblematic of systemic racism on campus. And then it was emblematic of systemic racism across the country. This one very innocent email from a professor just sent to her residential college, just in defense of freedom of expression. And students would use words like harm and pain and danger. They felt unsafe on campus. And
they felt unsafe at Yale. How did you feel?
I mean, that was the safest I'd ever felt. I mean, it was, that was, as soon as I set foot on campus, I thought wow, no one goes to a place like that and then, ends up homeless or on the street or something. That's you've made it, you've arrived. And that's how I felt. And instead I watched the sons and daughters of millionaires say that they were in danger and that they were experiencing
extreme trauma, right?
Extreme, upset, and
because someone wore a sombrero or somebody might have, they wouldn't have worn blackface. That's not what was going to happen. But probably,
some white girl wearing a shipao or some Chinese, thing. Yeah, some dressed up like Pocahontas or something, and it was just.
So you began to think, what?
Yeah.
Where? How? What life experiences led people at the age of 18 at this point? Because you're a little older than them, so you have a little bit more life experience. Not a little bit more life experience. You have acres and acres of more life experience than these people. And you actually have lived experience of real trauma. I think we can say that. Real fucking trauma. Did you not feel contemptuous of these people?
The really young students, like the first year students, I tried my best to hold a sympathetic perspective there, but there were grad students and professors and administrators and fully grown adults who were also joining some of these protests and marches and demonstrations and signing the petitions and running social media campaigns. And for them, yes, it was extreme contempt, especially the professors.